Greetings. The day currently is April 5th, 2021. On this one-man agile team, I find myself with two items in my backlog that have not been implemented. One is the demo mesh through multiple ambulances test, where I was unable to buy multiple microcontrollers that simulated multiple ambulances, and as such was not able to perform the test. And the second one, which is the implementation of a mechanism that allows reporting on intermediate ambulances. Since I was not able to buy multiple ambulances, I was not able to report on intermediate ambulances. Those are the tasks that I was not able to complete. Everything else, with respect to the uh, beta release, the alpha release, and the final release, I was able to complete. What that includes is a implementation of a push-based error notification feature, the improvement of reliability of data propagation on a dashboard, the use of configuration files, JSON-based, as opposed to hard-coded configurations, the improvement of visualizations and its presentation by deploying the visuals on a standalone publicly available website, reading data from a real-time gyroscopic sensor that simulates the functionality of a automated back valve mask automated pumping mechanism, and other things such as achieving a basic functionality of, communication of data transmission through a mesh using peer-to-peer communication using XPs. And so what that looks like is something like this. Um, I initially started building my first in my first sprint starting February the 12th. And starting February 12th, tasks were already plotted, and this section shows the tasks that were done. It came in the form of a standing sprint, a walking sprint, which was achieved after the alpha release, um, a running sprint, and then a final release. The longest duration was a 2-week sprint that took place between the alpha release and the beta release. The shortest sprint was between the beta release and the final release. And throughout this period, as you see in the done section, these were the tasks that were accomplished. So starting from the walking to the standing to the running, um, all planned deliverables were primarily achieved, and the end-to-end architecture that was shown on the website was delivered. Now, the evolution of the product, there definitely requires a lot of work to be done on the product to improve it as such that um, it can be it can be made proprietary or have future plans. So the work done, though achieved, requires more work to refine and make the product better. In essence, I have utilized Asana to track my sprints and track my tasks to keep on top of it and use its capabilities to identify dependencies, identify bottlenecks, identify those tasks that take a lot of time and that don't, and have used, as I show here, its analytics capabilities to identify, for example, what story points, how much story points on an average did my sprints take. And this is from the first sprint to the very last one to the final release. And as you see here, 1.5 was the highest, was the average. On an average, most tasks were 1.5. 30% of the tasks out of 20 that were completed took 1.5 story points. Another kind of visual that shows the same data is at the bottom here. You can see here that 1.5, there were about six tasks that took that. Um, the least amount was um, like three tasks that were labeled as other, but besides that, point 0.5 was the story point that took one of the least, as you see here. Um, and and there was only one person completing these tasks. So all tasks were completed by this individual member. And another interesting analytics visual is the amount of tasks that were completed. So it seems that the process of um, getting everything, all the products, the microcontroller, the XPs, and setting it all up, having a robust workflow to SSH into your Raspberry Pi, set up the operating system, and get everything ready for product demonstration took actually more tasks than walking and running. Though I definitely believe that walking and running were had more dividends, and were and the results of these two sprints you could see materialize more in the form of a website, in the form of the technical demos on the team webpage. Um, and as such, um, I'm proud and happy to conclude that all deliverables were met that were promised for this project. And again, mindful that yes, there were tasks that were not completed, and yes, though the tasks were completed, the quality of work could certainly have been better. And in essence, um, that covers everything that I want to talk about with respect to the backlog and the planned set of deliveries. I'm proud of the work that I did, and I'm happy to have worked with Franz Newland on achieving the deliverables that I set out to achieve. Thank you so much for your time.